Well, good morning my YouTube friends, it's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and the subject today is spider mites. Now these are these insidious little creatures that are not usually visible by the eye, but they do get onto your plants and they cause a lot of damage. Fortunately for me, I don't have good eyesight, so in some ways the spider mites have a free run. And this is what happens. Can you see? Can you see the damage? Look at underneath there. Can you see all that damage? And they just munch away, and all that happens is it weakens your plant. Now, I've just checked this one here, and I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this, but let's just see whether it'll allow me to show you. Now this is this is last year's pseudobulb, and it's still weak. And now let me just see. If you're going to get enough light, just bear with me a minute. What I'm trying to do is just put some light on that. And hopefully you can see little tiny, oh they're so minute, it's unbelievable. I mean, you would think that they were just specks of dust, and sometimes you just, that's all you think it is. I mean, especially because I've had Keith putting up new shelving in the grow room, and the dust gets everywhere. Well, let's just take you to this area now. See, it's very awkward because what I'm trying to do is hold the magnifying glass, and like I say, this is where your third hand comes into it, and whether or not you're going to be able to see what I'm trying to show you there. And there's another way, a very, very simple way to discover whether you actually have got spider mites, and that is to wet your thumb, finger and thumb. Now, another way is just to get a little piece of cotton wool, turn your leaf over like that. Now let's just have a look whether this is just dust or whether this one's still got spider mites. And you see, can you see those little tiny specks there? Normally they come out bright red, so let's have a look on this newest leaf. That's that leaf. You see, they're not on every leaf, but they're definitely showing signs here of spider mite. Now these are the old leaves, and I don't think any will show on this. I mean, it may well do. They get right down in here, and that's where they live. And then they sneak out. Terribly hard to get rid of. And I also find that when you've got low humidity, that's when they are at their best, the most active. Now let's have a look. I think the damage is done on here, on these old leaves. But you know, you still can't be too careful. You still have to go over them. And so I'm going to treat that now. And my simplest way to treat it, now I don't want you all jumping down my neck, because I once saw a video and I can't remember who did the video, but they had this homemade solution, and it's Listerine. Now the person who used this said to use the bronze. Well, we can't get the bronze version over here, so I've just got this blue, and you'll see the second ingredient on here there, alcohol. Right. Baby oil. That is a smothering effect. And good old washing up liquid. Now, I don't have any quantities. I get a little plastic container. I just pour some in, depending on how many you're going to do. Yesterday I'd only got about that much. But I've got a couple more to do today. So it's just eyeballing it. You don't have to worry about it. So that's that. Now I'll allow me to pull this top off. That's the baby oil. Maybe a little drop more. And then the washing up liquid. Okay, and that's it. And all I do with that then now is just mix it together. I think the video that I watched maybe used water, added water to it, but I don't add water. I just use it as it is. And like I say now, you can either use a cotton mould, a cotton ball. I just use these little kitchen. They're very handy, these little triangle ones. There we go, you see. And then all I do is go down each leaf and clean it all off. Trying to get down. That's the beauty of these, you see. It's got that little V there, and you can take that really down into the corners down there. Do the back, do the pseudobulb, won't do them any harm. And this is what I was doing yesterday. I was going over each plant. It is a bit of a painstaking job, but let's see. This is the leaf that I've just shown you. Let's see if there's anything down there I can get into. Sometimes, you know, you've got to get a cotton bud. Let me just see. Now, if you haven't got a cotton bud, I have a very fine a paintbrush, and I go down with the paintbrush right down here. Then at least you're getting in the crevice where they are. Whether it'll show anything coming out on this piece of paper towel, I've no idea, but let's just have a look. Nothing so far. And this is why it's one of those painstaking jobs to, well, I call it maintenance really. You need to just tidy your orchids up. You see, can you see underneath there where there's a crevice? just tiny, but I'm always saying this word, aren't I? But be gentle, because you don't want to damage any or crack any of these leaves. And then when you've done one plant, discard your cotton bud, your cotton wool, or you see this one, you see those little tiny specks. Yes, don't cross-contaminate. And it's just a simple, really, really simple way of controlling spider mites. Now, somebody might just think, oh well, that's, you know, I don't agree with that. Well, it's not a case of agreeing or disagreeing, it's just a case of, if you found something that works for you, then by all means use your own initiative and carry on. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, as long as it's working for you. So I'm going to now painstakingly go through all these orchids. I'm going to put that one on one side. This is another nice big one. This is another dendrobium. Now this one, this is Gatton Sunray. And these are quite thick leaves. And this one has been affected at some time. Not in my care, but it was affected with scale. And but it's got rather thick leaves, and I don't think that this one needs, can you see the old scale? But it's historic that, it won't come off. I don't think the spider mites like the thick leaves. What the spider mites like are nice, can you see these nice thin leaves? This is the Fias Tankenvelia. Look at those roots there. You see all those roots? So I shall be treating this as well. And getting inside all these leaves here, removing all the dust. Sorry about that, removing all the dust, giving the plant a nice, if you like, soapy shower. And again, this little one here, this is the Dendrobium hildepox. And if nothing else, it'll clean the leaves, and then these can all go back up into the grow room. So as I say, a very quick video today. This is how I deal with my orchids as I bring them. Well, I don't have them outside, do I? But I do inspect them now for this time of the year. The central heating's going on, so it's nice and warm, a nice breeding zone. And if I don't have that humidity high enough, if the humidity's, if it's very dry, the atmosphere, that's when the spider mites can invade. So I hope this has been of some use to somebody. Like I say, you just eyeball it and just clean your orchids. So from me to you, thanks for joining me. Bye bye now.